I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Ronald Colley, Clarence Marks,
Here.
Mitch Daniels, Roland Kirol,
Here.
Roland Guidry,
Here.
Bob Falk,
Here.
McNeely Rome,
Here.
Keith Guidry,
Here.
Monty Vegas. Mr. Vice President, you have a quorum.
All right, thank you. You've been presented with the minutes of the February 11th meeting. A motion. Motion by Roland Guidry, second by Roland Kirol. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, we have Mr. Ronald's present report. Mr. Ronald's not here today, but we have a resolution 19-01 for Commissioner Mr. Clarence Morris. I'd like to read it. Whereas Clarence C.J. Morris Jr. has served as Commissioner of the Board for the Lafourche Levee District since 2004. And whereas Clarence C.J. Morris, having served in the capacity of Vice President of the Board of Commissioners for the past 4 years and has worked diligently and to the best of his ability whenever the work needed to be accomplished for the flood protection improvement for the people of the Lafourche Levee District. Now therefore be it resolved, the Board of Commissioners of the Lafourche Levee District recognizes and commends Commissioner Clarence C.J. Morris Jr. for his loyal service in the capacity of Vice President and his continued service as Commissioner to the Board of Commissions of the Lafourche Levee District, unanimously adopted on the 11th day of March 2019. Mr. C.J. Service, and we look for a bunch more years.
Thank you all. I want to thank all of my fellow commissioners for this, and I want to say that since I've been on this board, I've learned a tremendous amount of stuff, and met a whole lot of people that didn't mind sharing what they knew with you. It made me a better commissioner and a better person. I just want to thank you for allowing me a chance to serve with you all.
Thank you. The only other thing we had on Mr. Ronald's report was to remind everyone about the 34th annual ALBL workshop, May 2nd through 3rd. Get with Mary if you have any questions. Anyone from the audience here to address our board? We'll move on to our general manager report.
We have Councilman Daniel Rain, any other elected officials? Anything?
I just want to wish Mr. Martz well, and believe it or not, the parish getting along a lot better with the levee district. You're not having any problem with the fuel, right? You are? I need to know. I'll take care of it.
Thank you, Dan.
So, look at a couple of slides. Yeah, I walked through last meeting. This was Michael. When Michael hit Florida. This is the flooding now. This is the intercoastal canal on the top of the page. This is Delta Farms Road. And I mean, nobody knew inside the system what was happening outside. But again, this was for the Hurricane Michael that hitting Florida. We had this kind of water. I mean, day and night from one side to the other. In fact, when I came here on the ground, there were 3 kids. This is Delta Farms Road right here. 3 kids were swimming in the middle of the road, and 3 feet of water on Delta Farms Road. People inside didn't notice any difference, but that's how much. Now we're talking about some 40 miles from the Gulf of Mexico, and a storm hitting that many miles away causes this type of flooding. And it's an occurrence that happens more and more. That's why we had to turn the Golden Meadow floodgate into a lock. And again, it's just gets worse and worse. We're going to keep on working and improving the system. This is the work being done on E-South. This is on the east side of Lafourche, south of Mobley Farms toward Loop. And we have a contractor that's just going to take the edge of the Borough Canal and part of the toe, and we're just gonna dig up this dirt, place on the side here, let it dry, and then later on, we're gonna turn it to the levee. This levee is about, we built it to about 14.5 feet, it's dropped to about 12 feet. The land program said that at our flood insurance, we should have this to at least 13, so we're gonna build it up to about 15.5. But we have that issue there, that's coming along pretty well. A relatively inexpensive job, and but it's critical for the flood insurance. Our people are still getting preferred risk inside the system, and we want to keep that going. This is the work that CPRA is doing. This is part of Section L inside the farm, and they're progressing on it, not moving as fast as we'd like to see it. Daniel, any comments?
Right, we'd like to see it faster, yes. But we are, we're 50% done now with the embankment, so
What's that?
we're 50% done, and so
50%?
yeah. So they're at the point where they're working on their levee only. All the other issues are completed, and we're still looking at probably third quarter this year complete, maybe July, August. So
Okay. Are those settlement blades on that? What is this?
Yes.
yeah, those things, yeah, they are selling the place.
That's all settlement blades?
Mm-hmm.
Real good, and again, that's part of the Morganza project, and that's where the Thatcher style system. They see they're digging the Borough Canal here, all the way through here, and filling in this, and this will be the Borough Canal. And the elevation is gonna be 10 feet?
That's the target.
Yeah. Now, this is just outside of the area. This is where we're gonna do the mitigation for the work on L. And we expect to get a letter probably tomorrow, Mitch?
Tomorrow?
Okay, this board has already authorized the president to award, advertise, and also award this project. We were waiting, again, this is a project we're doing for Terrebonne and North Lafourche. And once we get the letter, we'll advertise and hopefully get this mitigation done. And it should work pretty easy with the levee here and our levee here. Do containment, and jobs should work out pretty well, and maybe get started where, middle of summer maybe?
Yeah, it'll probably be 90 days before somebody's out there.
Yeah.
But you also are waiting for a response from the CPRA engineer, right?
Right,
To let you know that our plan is solid, right?
yeah. Well, just because they have their contract on the other side,
That's
there's a
right.
little intersection, and we want to make sure that everybody's on the same page at the intersection. Anything else, Stevie?
No, that, I was gonna say, it's not approved from them for a plan for the mitigation, it's for them to change kind of how they're handling their levee, which interfaces with our mitigation, so, but I expect that this week.
All right. Now, this is on our system, right, just south of that intersection. This is the work the contractor, RLB, is doing. He's taking the dirt from our right-of-way here, placing it here. He'll be moving it closer so that once that job's finished, we can take the dirt and shape it into the levee and bring it probably in the ballpark of close to 18 feet. We should have enough dirt to do that. And again, same thing, and this is the hole from pump station number 2 behind Bullet Camp all the way to the intersection with Apache Farm. Again, they've taken the material from here, thrown it here once, and then we'll throw it closer. Once it gets close enough that we can retrieve it with an excavator, the job will be finished. Here, he's moved it twice. This is just north of Bullet Camp. And we've taken the material and already stacked it. We'll be shaping it later into the berm and then shaping it and raising the top of the levee. Now, this is south of pump station number 2. This is the other contractor, Punch Train Partners. And that's between pump station number 1, south of Golden Valley, and Bullet Camp, pump station number 2. And he's already thrown the material up. We have actually taken material and dug the hole here first. We've already got this up to plus 18. And now we're just taking this material to strengthen the berm. But what's good about this is, you know, we're gonna have some subsidence, some sinking. And when this starts to drop, we'll have material right down the berm to place on top. So relatively inexpensively, over the next 10 years, we should be able to maintain this elevation. And just to the outside, again, it's, you know, there's some 30 miles from the Gulf, and again, it's showing itself. A couple of places we have good growth in between. This is on the inside. We built our Borough Canal so large that the wave action started eroding some of the landowners to the front. So we're putting the plastic sheet pile in place where we have some erosion. The other places we have erosion, we're going to have to do this. Again, it costs us about $26 to $30 a linear foot to do this. but we can't allow our right of way to erode into the private property. So we're only putting this where we have this erosion problem. We're not putting it on the whole right of way. And then on the outside, again, Loader of our money, Ducks Unlimited, ConocoPhillips, and in some portions CPRA put some money. These are some of the terraces on the outside. And what's really good about this, it helps break the wave action that hits against the levees here. Also, if we can get some more mitigation money, I think we have an opportunity to put a small dredge in our bottle canal and take some of the slough off the bottom, and hopefully we can connect the marsh from the terraces to the total levee. And that's good for the levee, and that's really good for all of our fish. In fact, just a little bit south of here, where we did our SEAP project, I saw some muskrat mounds. It's the first time I've seen that ever on that side of the bayou. Again, these are some of the terraces that they built 2 years ago. And from this angle, it looks like they've got a lot of marsh, but it's just that the terraces that they've done a really good job in growing up. These are the ones they've just built out there, but this is a great asset in protecting the total levee. All right. If you look in your packet, you'll see the proposed fiscal budget 2020. The new year starts July 1st, and we have to provide this 3 months ahead of time. Once we get there, we'll probably amend it just before the year starts. Get this real general budget, but for a change of pace, we actually have some money to build with. After a couple of years of taxes not being real good, and then that $3 million judgment against us. But now we're in position to do more building. We might get a little help from the state, and if that comes through, we'll probably call the executive committee and maybe adjust some of our plans for this year. We can probably build a little bit more. We need to approve the budget, the proposed budget for next year.
Moved by Mac, second by Roland Curall. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Okay, the next 3 items are all tied to the pump stations, where we need to do some advertising to inspect and then approve advertisement to actually do the repairs. So all of these, if you could, we need to do them separately, but a motion and acceptance on all 3 of them, we have to do 2 different times. So for example, low bid for repairs on pump station number 6, located at pump station number 2.
Okay, you've heard the recommendation of our general manager to accept this bid. Mac, second by Mr. CJ. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Approval to advertise and accept those bids for repairs pump number 2, located at pump station number 6.
Okay, recommendation of our general manager again.
Move.
Roland Goodrich, second by Roland Curall. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
All right. And approval to advertise and accept those bids for repairs to pump number 7, located at pump station number 6.
Okay, you heard the recommendation of our general manager again for the approval of advertising. Moved by Roland Goodrich, second by CJ. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Okay, section E North update, that's a section that's Clovis Farms. And Clovis Farms, the Scully's on it. We're trying to get them to provide some material for us, because that part of the levee also is below the LAMP flood insurance levels. So we're still negotiating with them. Hopefully we can get a place that gets material and raise that levee also to about a 15.5-foot elevation. I showed you the section east-south update. West side erosion update, I showed you some of the work going on out there. And also, last meeting, I only got approval for $25,000, and we needed to have approval for another $75,000. And that's all we'll be finished with. If you look at J, let's skip over on right now. But if y'all could approve that, we will finish the work on there. And that's B South, B North, C South, funding approval for $75,000.
Okay, you've heard the recommendation of our general manager for funding approval of $75,000. Motion by Roland Goodrich, second by CJ. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Okay, and then the center line survey again.
He made the motion, I second it.
Okay.
just to correct that. Well, man, you gotta follow tradition, we got. You like Toronto, you. Anyway, the centerline survey and flood insurance, of course, we're gonna use the centerline survey that we have, and I don't have the map up right now, but we'll get it by next meeting. This is where we go every year to find out where we've lifted the levee, exactly how high it's gotten. Some places it's sunk a little bit, it always changes a little bit. And with this, we can match the flood insurance. Now, the number one job, of course, is stop flooding. We've been doing that. Secondary was to make sure that we keep those elevations high enough. And so will be the jobs that we're doing on section east, south, north, and there's a couple of little spots that might be a little bit underneath the flood insurance elevation that we'll get that info. But I'll have the map up next meeting.
This is the report that you send to lab that they look at?
Oh,
Or this is-
no, actually I do. In fact, that's really helpful that we do that work because they want any engineering information that we have to make sure that we fall within the lab program. And so these centerline surveys are critical for that designation. So, yeah, this will be sent to them. We think they're gonna get started again. Anybody gonna use the lab? They haven't been funded over the past year and a half. But, no, it works out well for us because we still keep that preferred risk of insurance. So no news is good news, okay?
It's supposed to be completed in June, but I don't see that happening.
I don't think so. Didn't see what year. Also, tax-free status that we have with the state taxes. Some of our contractors, there's some questions from the parish whether they're collecting those taxes, are collected properly. So now we're working with the school board to make sure that they get all of our contractors that do claim, so they can make sure that everything's done properly, because we don't want anybody skipping on paying their taxes. If they need to or not paying, if they're working for us. Okay, LA1, facility plans providing $1 million on a $2.5 million project, so they're paying about 40% of it. But they should be paying 75% of it, but they have trouble getting some money for us. We are gonna get it built. I don't know if y'all been crossing over there, Golden Meadow, but it's coming along real well.
Very nice.
Yeah, and I think easily by the middle of summer it's gonna be done. So all we've worried about is making sure it's usable by the 15th of August when serious hurricanes start coming. And it should be easily made that date. So that's not progressing real well. Yes, I did.
It'll help the vacation is going right now, for sure.
Oh, yeah, no, it's gonna help us, to close it quickly, but I have to put those HESCO baskets.
Correct.
And that means we can leave it open for a lot longer. With HESCO baskets, we had to close it ahead of time to make sure we didn't get caught when they're open. But now, I mean, it's gonna be a breeze to close it and let as many people through. And I talked to Reggie before, but we're gonna look at putting some type of maybe shell road on the side for anybody who's super late and can possibly get there.
We have 2 road gates we've recently installed, and one of the things we did for liability reasons is install a limestone road over the levee, just in case somebody gets locked out, that they can escape and come back in. Because the last thing you wanna do is have somebody drown because you locked them out, so.
Yeah. With our whole process, we have 18 wheeler actually
Yeah.
cross on the approach road that the port commission. It's amazing what some people can do. Okay, and then the last item is there's bourgeois bidders were still paying people from the judgment. Okay, so they've been working through it. They thought they had gone as far as they could. They applied to the judge to put in the clerk of court, and the judge denied it, which was kind of a shock. Do you know anything about that situation? Okay, well, we need to find out, because I was kind of surprised. I thought for sure it was just part of the process.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Mr. Window. I'm just kind of, as you know, just here because of Ray's health problems. But I'll report back to him and get him to get in touch with you as soon as possible.
Okay, good, appreciate it. All right, that's all I have.
It's unusual you deny something like that.
Well, I was kind of surprised. I thought that the attorneys on the other side, they're in charge of it, okay?
They agree.
And I thought they had done what they needed to do, and then they were gonna put it to court, and then people get it when they can, but the judge denied it, so we'll see what the details are. And that's all I have.
All right, thank you, Linda. CPRA, Daniel, you have anything?
On the retail programs, golf project, I think we already covered the update, about 50% done with the embankment. looking at third quarter of the year for completion. Like Stevie mentioned, I think you guys met on site, was it last week, I think, on this issue?
Just before morning.
Of coordinating with the mitigation project. And honestly, it's like you stated, just waiting on our geotechnical engineers to review the modification in that area for our project, so feeling pretty good about it. I mean,
By the time we get the report,
Yeah.
you're all gonna be finished.
right, I was like, when has geotechnical ever held up anything, right? I mean, come on, that would be unusual, right? So, no, that's about it. Feel good about it.
All right, thank you, Dan.
Good.
Anybody from the Corps of Engineers? Project engineers. Ms. Yeoman,
Mark PCO, PCO and Associates. The first project is LA1 elevation and realignment at the Levee, Ontario locks. Byron Talbot is the contractor. They have been working on the road base and will begin driving sheet piles and foundation work in the next few weeks. The contractor has submitted pay application number 2 in the amount of $153,828.20. And we recommend it.
you've heard the recommendation of our engineer to pay request number 2 in the amount of $153,858.20. I need a motion by Bob, second by Roland Curall. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried.
Next we have levee section east-south, excavation along the Guadalcanal Canal. Southern Delta Construction is the contractor. A notice to proceed was issued on December 17th. The contractor has mobilized equipment and started construction. The contractor submitted pay application number 2 in the amount of $7,772.40.
Heard the recommendation of our engineer to pay request number 2 in the amount of $7,772.20. I need a motion. All right, second by Paul. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
And then LaRose floodgate improvement, protection phase 4, interim improvements to the steel parapet wall. Sea Level Construction is the contractor. A notice to proceed was issued on December 17th. The fabrication of the steel parapet wall and drilling of holes in the concrete slab are complete, and they will begin installation of the steel parapet wall shortly. The contractor has submitted pay application number 2 in the amount of $28,458.00. We recommend that.
Thank you for the recommendation of the engineer to pay request number 2 in the amount of $28,458. Motion. Motion by CJ, second by Mac. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
And finally, we have LaRose floodgate improvement and protection phase 5, steel A-frame wall and concrete eye wall. The project is currently out for bids, and we will receive bids on March 21st at 10 a.m.
Thank you, Mark. Wayne Blaze on, John.
I'm moving on. John Blazon from GIS Engineering. By Lafourche water level control, we're still trying to get that permit done. I know that Wendell's had some contact with it over the last couple of weeks, but he's still progressing on that. Taking baby steps, and it would be nice to get that finished.
Yeah, well, they gave us a permit, but they said that we had to possibly mitigate, and I've got a letter from the Corps saying that we have mitigated all of the environmental value. And the DNRs is just bugging us on it, and we don't want, our taxpayers paid for that mitigation, and shouldn't have to go mitigate again and spend more money on it. So it would be easy to give in, because they're saying if there's a problem, but we don't want to give the idea if there's a problem, we shouldn't pay anything, because we have mitigated already. And so we're not gonna agree to the permit until they take that out, so we'll continue working.
Okay, the pump station number 4 upgrades, there are a couple of details we have to get to Baudouin, and so that Popeye will have something to do when he gets back from his medical leave, and we should be able to get that to him before Popeye comes back and can actually start working.
Thank you, John. Look. And you let this be over.
Okay, on the VNRB side levee improvement, this is one of the slides Wendell showed on from base off pump station to the Golden Meadow Park. That contract with Ponce Train Partners is continuing, work is going well. and we're recommending approval of their pay request in the amount of $63,970.09.
Okay, you've heard the recommendation of our engineer. Pay request number 22 in the amount of $63,970.90. Motion, Bob, second back. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Do you have any estimate on when you think he's gonna be finished with the job?
At the pace they're going, probably another 4 months, which I think they have about 8 months we've given them, so.
Yeah.
All right, and see South Levee improvement, this is from Apache Farm down to the Basalt Pump Station, it's just north of the previous project. They contract, our ROV is continuing, work is progressing, it's still going slow. We are gonna have a meeting with a contractor in about a week to talk about the next phase of his work, which is gonna be the shaping of all the material into a finished section. He does have a marsh buggy excavator and a conventional excavator that he's got the project to do some of that work with. So he's wrapping up the work over the next couple of weeks with the big machine, but he still has a lot of work to do with those two excavators. We are recommending approval of his next pay request in the amount of $128,430.12.
Okay. You've heard the recommendation of our engineer, the pay request number 18 in the amount of $128,430.12. Moved by Roland Guidry, second by Roland Curall. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
All right, last project is Morgan's to the Gulf Reach L. We're finalizing our plans and specifications to begin advertising work on this project in about June of this year. And that's gonna be for levee construction from Apache Farm to Grand Bayou, including some options for the Bayou Road structure.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you.
Dr. Coles.
Yeah, I really don't have anything. Reggie, I don't know if you wanted to talk anything about Grand Bayou.
Yeah, just in general, I think Aptum has the 100% design delivered today to South Lafourche Levee District. This project started at $22 million. The whole region declared that as sort of the top priority for new funding from the governor over a year ago. With some valued engineering out of a result of a meeting we had here in Wendell's office a few months ago, we probably peeled $3 million off of that estimate by looking at practicalities of the remoteness of this floodgate and the fact that it doesn't pay to put a 300 kW generator. We're going back more to old-fashioned ways with hydraulic diesel engines, and we the Terrebonne Levee District has the 2 winches that were replaced, the 2 winches that were on the Bubba Dub H&C floodgates, which will fit on this one. So we're going to be providing those 2 winches towards it. So now I understand the true cost is down to like 17.2, including a little bit of a contingency. So I think we're going in the right direction, and hopefully it looks like in the annual plan for the state, there's about $6 million for the western side of Reach L, 1.7 for at least phase 1 of the low blur structure on Apache's property, and hopefully that we'll get the entire 17 or so million for Grand Bayou. I mean, that's $25 million, which helps close the gap between Cutoff and Pornichet. I mean, it gives us some connectability, so I think that's all good information.
And I have Reach K mitigation. I mean, we're still moving really slowly on that. We finished all the as-bills about a week and a half ago, so we'll provide those as-bills, up-to-date as-bills to DNR. I'd say we're somewhere between the neighborhood of 60% complete, maybe 65.
We're already getting down the dollars to all the reports. How's the budget looking?
We won't really know what the budget is until the L mitigation project comes in. So once we cover that, we'll know how much free dollars we have, and to do the remaining part. But we do have $7.6 million to spend on Reach K.
All right.
So it should be 7.6 and some change, or that'll pay for the construction management of Grand Bayou Floodgate, or, you know, whatever we have to do with our remaining needs.
All talk themselves, see?
So I've got a couple projects to report on. One is the Reach K&L levee, which continues to move along very well. You can see from the report, they're about 93% complete with the contract quantity. I mean, they're gonna be finished in the next 30 to 45 days. That job will be over. And that's the big job we've been excavating with the large weed dredge in Grand Bayou, and there's several of the commissioners have been out there a couple of times with us. So that job just continues to move very problem-free. And it'll probably go to hell in a handbasket since I said that out loud. But they should be finished. Certainly by the end of April, I expect the real excavation to be done out there. Again, just to remind the commissioners, we're not doing any shaping, any of that into the levee. We're gonna let it sit up, we're gonna let it consolidate, we're gonna let it dry off. And eventually, we'll go out there and shape it up. There's no, again, just kind of giving you a very broad image. There's no place out there that's below a 6 now. Okay, your mitigation levee, which has been there for whatever, 25, 30 years now, right, Wendell?
1986.
Many areas out there were, 4, maybe even less, okay? So, and of course, that whole levee was not more than 50 to 80 feet wide in most places. Now you got 100, 120 feet wide, and there's no area that's below a 6 for that whole width, okay? Most of it actually is above an 8, and there's some areas that are even above that, the entire width. And I'm just giving you the point. Even without shaping it in anything else, it's 10 times better than what you had before. Okay, so that project again in the next month and a half will be over with. We do have a pay request that's before the board to act on today. Pay request number 16 for this particular project in the amount of $164,000. $164,325.07, which we would recommend paying.
Okay, you've heard the recommendation of our engineer to pay request number 16 in the amount of $164,325.07. Motion by Roland Kirall, second by Mack. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
One other thing, Mr. Chairman, again, it's been mentioned a couple times, we do have a marsh mitigation project that has not been in construction yet. That's the one that we talked about, for the coordination between the CPRA levee project right next door to it. Again, as we've said a couple times, I expect this week that we're gonna get basically approval from CPRA to put this project out for bid. And again, as we've said a couple times, we put it out for bid in the next 30 days. We'll probably have bids for this board to act on at your May meeting, I would guess, if you think the calendar out.
I think the board approved, for the president to move forward, once again, come ahead and get with it. Yeah.
So we would get bids in the May time frame, and then again, with good bids, we might have somebody out there working in the July time frame to get some work on that, with the marsh actually being constructed sometime in the fall. So, that's it.
Thank you, Steve. Okay, Aptum Engineering.
Laura, I think Reggie covered my update for me, so are any questions? No, but we have been working with CPRA to try to get this funded. We'll know for sure when the annual plan comes out, and then assuming everything stays on schedule, then as soon as we could go out for bids would be in July of this year.
Oh, look, Rick mentioned the winches. Is that included in your bid?
Yes.
So those winches, so you didn't advertise for the winches?
Correct.
Just the installation of the winches?
Correct.
Legal permit, by the way, is Mitch is not here, I don't think. Was there anything?
Oh, yeah, we have 4 permits. None of them go tomorrow.
Okay.
4 of them.
We need approval for that.
Yeah, I need
A motion to accept the permit request, moved by Roland Kirall, second by CJ, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Mr. Attorney, anything?
Again, I apologize. Ray's gonna update the board as soon as he can.
Okay. Finance committee, money's not in, but we reviewed all the invoices and asked for board approval to pay them. Moved by Mack, second by Roland Curall. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. The Personnel Committee, Monty's not in, we didn't have, Mitch, we didn't have enough to meet the Personnel Committee, so I think we should go to the board.
Well, yeah, we're just having a good discussion here.
Right.
Yeah. And what we have is just a promotion for Chase Bergwald, who's been working with us for a long time. And then we want to fill give permission to fill the mobile equipment operator one that he did have before. So we'd like for the board to accept those two positions.
So we can do them both together.
Yeah, let's do it, let's do it.
Okay. Motion for the request, Bob, motion by Bob, second by Roland Guidry. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Now, Monty missed, he's chairman of the last two committees that he was board. That's why we used to call him Las Vegas.
Building Committee, Bob?
We had a meeting this evening, and then we'd like to recommend that we accept the low bid on the carpet for the meeting room. They had two bidders, and we raw carpet and flooring was a low bid, not about much. Oh, really? It was close. So we'd like to have that accepted.
And there's a door repair.
And then the door, we only had one bid on it, and we need to fix it, because that's a lot of the problem with the deal, so we have to get both of them approved where they can start doing the job.
Okay. Heard the recommendation of our Building Committee Chairman. Second by Mack, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Any old business? Any old business? Any new business?
Mr. Chairman, I just want to say, I forgot to say congratulations to Mr. Marks for his 15 years of service. Of the three I nominated to serve on this board back 15 years ago, of course, this was Mr. Kale, Mr. Marks, and Mr. Bobby, who now has left the board. Congratulations.
Some good choices.
I think we have that.
Yeah, well, Reggie's got his fingerprints all over it. And not only that,
Did he talk about it?
he worked with us, get laws done for us, he worked and get some money for us, so Reggie's got his fingers all over the place, and in a good way.
You still helping us, we appreciate all
Oh,
that.
and I want to thank the board commissioners for wearing South Terrebonne green.
There it is.
Any,
Go Dogs. Go Dogs.
Where we got over, that's Galliano Junior High. That's not too late.
Any executive session needed? No. Motion? Motion by Roland Guidry, second by Roland Curall. All in favor?